What makes a video cinematic? Is the phrase cinematic the most tossed around buzzword within the realm of YouTube filmmakers ever? I, for one, might have tossed the word around in a title or two just to get people to click on my videos, and I absolutely hate myself for it. We hear it tossed around almost every day. Tips to make your videos cinematic. This will make your videos cinematic. Why doesn't my video look cinematic? And my all-time favorite, epic cinematic B-roll. Why don't we focus on A-roll? But what does it actually mean to create something that has this cinematic look that we all try so hard to emulate? We see it in our favorite movies and in shows. We bow down to the Roger Deakins of the world. But there are a ton of factors that go into getting the look that we're trying to achieve. Whether it's the camera gear, the camera, the lens, the lighting, the set design, the sound design, the talent that you're working with, whatever it may be. But many new filmmakers will tell you that it's mostly the gear. Because it's the easy excuse there is to say you are unable to achieve a look because you can't afford the right camera, lenses, or gimbal. And I've definitely been there. But the gear is very, very low on the list. So what does go into giving us the oh so holy look that we all drool over? Think about your job as a cinematographer. To me, being a cinematographer is about pulling your audience through a two-dimensional screen into a three-dimensional world. So how do we create the illusion of a three-dimensional world on a two-dimensional platform? We do this by creating depth within our frames. And how do we create depth? In simplest terms, we do it with contrast between light, dark, and color. What is something that all of these scenes from some of the greatest clips in cinematography history all have in common? Well, for one, you may notice that they're all backlit. Have you ever wondered why shooting at high noon or shooting with the sun directly in your talent's face looks so bad? It's because it creates a flat world, and flat does not create three dimensions. Backlighting is one of the easiest ways to pull your subject from your scene and to create depth. It's amazing to me how many new shooters do not utilize this technique. It creates roll-offs from highlights to shadows in a repeating fashion. It makes objects seem to fade away into the distance. And you can achieve this by just going outside at golden hour and placing the sun behind and off frame from your subject. You're also going to find a lot of color contrast happening in many of these scenes. Colors contrast when they are complementary. Blue contrasts with orange, green contrasts with red, and you can look at the color wheel and figure it out from there. Play with tungsten versus daylight. And maybe try thinking about the color of your talent's shirt in relationship to their environment. At the end of the day, there's so much that goes into the recipe for a cinematic image. But sometimes it's simpler to start with what you're able to control. Both of these are in your control, and both of these are gonna make a world of a difference for those of you just starting to figure things out. And relative to expensive camera gear, this is all pretty much free to you. So many of us find it easy to dream about shooting an epic Hollywood blockbuster, but find it so hard to go out in their backyard and actually shoot a short film with what they have and learn what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So take it one step at a time, stop making excuses for yourself, stop spending all your money on expensive gear that you do not need, and have fun. I love you. Hey, you made it to the end of the video tip, and today's tip might be something that you already know, but if you're editing in Adobe Premiere and playback's being super sluggish, go ahead and click this drop-down menu and lower your playback resolution, and you should be able to play back smoothly. You know, you don't need to be editing at 100% quality all the time. It's the end of the video, but maybe click on other videos that I've done in the past, and maybe you'll learn something else.